Tonight on Year to Date, seniors reminisce about their time at AU.
Outgoing President Vidlich leaves us with a few thoughts.
And Rachel Monin checks in with Janelle Knight.
I discover a cure for senioritis. Year to Date starts now.
On Sunday, May 11th, seniors from every school from SPA to Kogod will walk up to the stage in Bender Arena to receive their diplomas from President Cornelius Kerwin. These 4 years haven't been easy for this class. They were sophomores when former President Bed Ladner was dismissed. Yet there have been many good times, some that we have all shared, namely this year when the men's basketball team made their first ever appearance at the NCAA tournament. And those good times will be remembered forever. With commencement just 2 weeks away, I am honored to sit down with 3 seniors to reminisce about their experiences here at AU and hopefully to get some advice from our outgoing classmates. Tonight I have the privilege of talking with seniors Brian Kalish, Jeffrey Buras, and Charlie Biscotto. Thanks for joining us.
It's good to be here.
Let's start with you. Most memorable experience. Most memorable experience.
Most memorable, gosh. Well, Bin Ladner is up there, and it's actually probably a big shame that half the student population now doesn't remember that time. The tournament, also big deal. I remember one time we squished 5 guys into a cab one time when the metro broke down. That was kind of interesting. But I think my most memorable experience looking back was just freshman year. One night, me and a couple friends got together. We had some drinks in McDowell Hall and just had a good night. And we're still friends today. And you know, that night just sort of started it all off for me. It was a really good time.
Right.
For me, it would be freshman 3 weeks here when Jimmy Carter came to talk on campus about election reform in the U.S. And the Eagle said, "Who wants to write the article?" I raised my hand. I said, it'd be really cool to interview him. Called him in his office in Georgia. They told me no way. Called media relations here. Mara Lee, if you're listening, thank you again for this. She arranged for me to go to the president's office and have a roundtable discussion with myself, Carter, and 2 world-famous journalists. 3 weeks here as a freshman. So I still tell it on my tours. It was an amazing experience.
Wow. Charlie?
Well, I'm going to go along with them and say it's from my freshman year, the spring semester, being a part of Pi Kappa Phi's chartering on AU's campus. It was a great privilege to have my name on the charter for that fraternity, and I'm very proud of what it's become today.
Well, other side of the coin, worst experience.
Well, the cab experience was actually pretty bad. Probably has to do with drinking a little too much at one point. I won't go into any more detail.
Okay.
It's also hard to think of one, but probably I'm not very good with logistics, like making things work correctly. So many times that I've planned things and they don't work, such as a Senate party when we went to the ice skating rink, and the ice skating rink, the first one was melted, the second one was closed. So.
Charlie?
Oh, wow. I've been fortunate enough to have lots of very good experiences at AU, but bad experiences, I'm gonna have to say, my sophomore year I was running for Speaker of the SG, and there were just in the Senate, and there were just a lot of people who got on my case about things, and there were a lot of terrible, terrible things that were said about me, and that kind of hurt and stuck with me, unfortunately, as a negative side of my 4 years in college.
I'm going to start with you on this question, Brian. We've been talking a lot on this show about the bad rap that the SG gets, and since you've been here 4 years and 3 years, right?
Yes.
You're an early graduating senior, and you've been in the SG since for 2.5 years. Do you think that rap has been there forever, or do you think that has progressively changed?
I'd say it's been there forever. Charlie can answer this just as well. But it's gotten more people attack us, I believe, as we get each year. Or maybe I just become more aware to it, because freshman year I really didn't read the Daily Jolt. But I think people attack us more, but at the same time we keep getting better and better with better people. Charlie's written words today said that this is the best group we've had yet. And so people attack us more, but we've gotten a lot better.
You were Senator of the Year. Congratulations!
Thank you.
You've been in the Senate for 4 years, right?
Yes. That's
So
correct.
you're the eldest serving member there. Can you kind of elaborate a little bit about your experience and the rap that the SG gets?
I mean, I think it's kind of natural. I doubt that there's any campus in the country where
Sure.
people are like, we love our student government. I mean, no matter what the student government can or can't do, it's something that just kind of happens. But fortunately, from my freshman year and my sophomore year, where a lot of people took that and insulated themselves more and said, well, we're going to do what we think is right, we've gotten to a point where now people realize the value of working together with students, working for what students really care about. And that's been a huge change from the negative experiences I had my sophomore year, where there was internal division, people just fighting over stupid, petty problems, to the point where we're working towards really positive, significant change on campus. So I think the organization has grown, and I think some of the negative rap has gone away over the course of these 4 years.
And now to Jeff, who's been outside student government, your reactions throughout your time, even if you paid attention, or why you didn't pay attention, or things like that.
I've never been part of the student government, never really wanted to. But I have followed closely with it. I don't know why. I really don't think a lot has changed. I think the people who are in student government are probably the best. But I think as an organization, changing it from Student Confederation to student government, I really don't think did anything. I think they're great at programming. I think they're good at advocacy when it comes face-to-face. I think a lot of the legislation is just fluff. I think a face-to-face conversation with an administrator is just as effective as some bill that they debate for 2 months. Just my opinion.
And
No
Brian,
offense, guys.
what advice would you give to incoming freshmen?
Get involved with as many clubs as you possibly can. My cousin told me this. She's 4 years older than me when I started. Join every single club that sounds interesting to you, and then after 2 weeks, drop the ones you don't like, continue with the ones you like, because you'll find your calling, you'll find your friends that way. So just get involved.
Charlie?
Well, I'm going to start off by echoing that somewhat. When I got to AU, I was like, all right, I'm going to do everything I can and then wheedle out what I don't really care that much about. Got involved in theater, got involved in student government, got involved in chartering a fraternity. And over the course of the 4 years, I realized I loved everything. And fortunately for me, I realized that I loved theater a lot more than I love politics, and I've since switched my major. And so getting involved in everything has certainly helped me to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, but it's also been very difficult on my time management, and I've learned a lot from that. I have no free time, I get very little sleep, and I'm looking forward to graduating for that.
Jeff?
Yeah, I'm probably going to echo what they say. Get involved. I think it's important to, I guess, explore. As a freshman, I didn't know that there were so many different offices and what they do and what they accomplished and what you can accomplish by going to those offices. So I guess that's what I'm saying, is explore and figure out what people do and what is available on campus. Not necessarily get involved, but know that it's there.
Sure. And lastly, plans for the future, Brian?
It's a good question. Journalism major. I really need to start applying for jobs. I know that they're not going to hire me until I actually apply for them.
Right.
Love to stay in Washington. I hated politics. Now that I work intern of politics divisions, love politics. Covering the Hill eventually.
Charlie?
Staying in D.C., working on getting a job, waiting tables or something of that sort, so that I can go to as many auditions as I can, and starting training in a couple of weeks to run my first marathon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Jeff?
I'm a film major, so I'm leaving Washington, D.C. It's not a good film town. It's good for documentary, but I'm not really into documentary. Other than that, don't really know.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people don't know what they're going to do.
Sure.
But thank you all so much, and congratulations on making it 4 years, and good luck. When we come back, Jason sits down with outgoing President Joe Vitalich. Stay tuned.